And we're live. What's going on, guys? Happy New Year, everybody. Wow, this camera's really. Oh, okay. Let's see here. This camera's gotta come down a little bit. There we go. Yes. Okay. Happy New Year, everybody. So, Dr. Art is taking off tonight. He'll be here next Wednesday, I think. Okay. Okay. We got weird reflections in the glasses, but I can't see. Yeah, I need the glasses for this. So deal with the reflections, man. Mexican Spec Rocco, what's happening? Carbide Jones. I like that. It's a good name. Um, Scoop. Mitten Made Muscle. War Ghost. Bill McKyska. What's happening? Dripping Glass. Bobby 1964. Interdimensional Lizard. I bet you're getting a workout lately, huh? Paul Capazola. Happy New Year, Paul. Ford LTD 1976. Perry Ford. What's happening? Pertinent information. Yes, Mopar. Um, this is weird. The lighting is weird. Um, KJ Kiley, what's happening? Dickie Farley. Okay, we got a bunch of you guys in here now. Grumpy Stillskin. Happy New Year, Grumpy. Riff Raff Ruckus. We got a bunch of new names in here. Joe K, what's happening? So yeah, so if I'm a little fuzzy, it's because I haven't slept in days. Thunderbird 1968, Roberto Rhymes, Brian Power. Boy, a lot of new names here. Straight Bullet, what's happening, brother? So yeah, I haven't slept in days. So Molly Jane, my new border collie puppy, has not given me like a minute's rest. And Kathy Bananas has been working over at the dog club. They had some kind of event for the last couple of days, and she had to be there just to get away from here. I think, to be perfectly honest with you, but she said she had to be there. So I've been like, please, it's ridiculous, it's crazy. But here we are, and oh yeah, jeez. Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hot straight, yes. Um, Paul Gill, Happy New Year. Long live Mopar and Direct Connection. Well, I don't know about that, man. They've hijacked all of our sacred stuff, bro. They hijacked it. Um, let's see. Scott Annis. Hey, brother, just started watching your videos. They've really helped me quite a bit. Excellent. Thank you. Always gratifying to know that we help you guys. That's we have a purpose. We have a purpose. You know, that's we're mission driven on this channel to try to help and be as much of an aid as we possibly can. Um, it's a big deal to me that you guys get something from the stuff that we put out there. Um, like when I say at the end of a lot of these like tech videos, I say I hope you got something out of that. Like I'm sincere. I really mean that. I hope you got something out of that. Eat the snack and don't drop it. I agree. I agree. Along with Stellantis. Oh, jeez. They gotta go. They gotta go. Um, Whoop, he said purpose. Yes. Um, let's see. Thunderbird. Oh yeah, Thunderbird 1968. You got your. My wife got me a fuel pressure regulator for Christmas. Excellent. Very nice. Plumb it correctly. Remember, it goes outside. Put it, mounted in front of the windshield. Um, let's see. Dripping glass. I hope 2025 is great for all of us car guys. Get our stuff on the road or for the truck. Absolutely. And I think it will be. I think it will be. Um, Charlie Roma, Happy New Year, Charlie. Um, Dust Double Garage, I haven't seen you in a bit. How you doing, brother, man? Jacob Bowman, uh, the main CD Burlock just saw a four-banger diesel turbo in Thailand. Did I tell you about that? Is that the craziest stuff? Amazing. Why don't we have things like that here? Like if we had stuff like that here, I would feel compelled to get involved in some way just because it's so different, it's unique, it's fun, it's out of the box, and it's relevant because you can go buy a diesel four-banger pickup truck, which is a connection that we lost a lot in drag racing. Bear Rose, what's happening, man? Just watched your newest video, and oh yeah, the parts crunch is making me want to go back to playing with the small black Chevy again. Yep. Listen, it's just getting started. Like literally, it's just getting started. You're gonna see things get really crazy as far as parts supply and parts quality real soon. Beginning a couple of months ago, but really accelerating once we get like into the spring or so. Fubar is in the house. Happy New Year, Fubar. Okay, Brian Power, you got to check out the Rice Tractor of Drag. I watched all of it. CB Media. I sat one night last week, and I binged watched it for hours and hours. It was awesome. Yeah, I saw all of that stuff, the Rice Tractors and the stuff, and the long-tail boats, and the great stuff. Thailand is like the center of drag racing. That's who would ever thought? Who in a million years would have thought that you want to be in a culture that adopts and embraces and lives the drag racing lifestyle? Who would have thought you got to go to Thailand to find this? Let's see. Yeah, Travis Moore, Happy New Year and car part apocalypse. It can't listen. If you're entrepreneurially minded, this could be excellent. Like this is opportunity. Most people look at the stuff like this and say, "Oh, it's terrible. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad." But if you've got an entrepreneurial spirit to you, you see nothing but opportunity in this. Let me do something with this light. This light's a little weird. Let's see. No. I'll just keep getting worse. And if I do away with it, look, I'm in the shadow. That's not too bad. Okay, let's go with this. Stand Control, thank you for the super chat. 89 E150 sluggish starter, worse when engine is hot. Any tips on diagnosing the issue? Battery is fine. Yeah, the armature is the bushings that hold the armature steady in the starter are worn, and so when a load goes to it, it cocks in those the worn bushings, and the armature is running against the magnets on the inside of the case. And that's why it gets sluggish like that. Thailand drag racing, absolutely. A Biofly had to exchange 4 sets of screw-type calipers due to left-hand threads on right-hand caliper. Yeah, right? Stupid stuff like that, and it will drive you out of your mind. Mike Brunello, I've been having trouble getting small block Ford parts. I can get them back. I've been having trouble getting small block Ford parts. I can get them back. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Let's see. Brian Power is saying the best part is almost all drag racing is illegal in Thailand, or so? No, they have drag strips. They got really nice drag strips there, and they do it in like it's not. They don't just do regular drag racing. They drag race everything. Every time they drag race through rice paddies. They drag race over just farmers' fields. They drag race in the canals and stuff like that, and on regular drag strips. It's crazy. I'm telling you. Go to CB Media and go just watch some of these videos. It's absolutely mind blowing what they do out there. Bubba says, I've seen an article talking about Ford firing CEOs if quality doesn't improve. All of these companies are in serious trouble. Straight Bullets asking Stan with the starter if he checked the timing. He didn't say he was kicking back. He said it was sluggish, right? So generally speaking, you put a fresh battery in it, maybe you put a set of jumper cables on it. It's getting all the voltage, and you go to crank and it's sluggish as opposed to where it's kicking back. But maybe he didn't describe it correctly. Okay, Mike Brunello is saying I'm having trouble getting small block Ford parts. They're available, but takes forever to get. Okay. Thunderbird 1968. Why is the parts market going to get bad? I was hoping that was all behind us. No. You had the supply chain disruptions from this scam. I can't even talk about it, right? Because YouTube, you had supply chain disruptions due to all of that, but now it's supply chain disruptions due to fractured economic reasons. And like we were talking about in that video we put out today, these companies are all like Stellantis and Holley and Edelbrock. All of these companies are run by private equity, and they don't care about what the fundamentals of the business are. Okay, so in other words, like traditionally, you start a business, okay, and you're building for the future, right? So you're planning 3, 4, 5 years ahead. You've got forward looking, and you're always expanding, and you're adding plants, and you're adding employees, and you're adding technology, and you're doing all these things. That's the traditional way of doing business. Since the great the economic crisis, 2008. From that point, and the way the rules are on everything was either changed, suspended, or folded, spindled, or mutilated. Now, running business has nothing to do with forward looking. It has to do with this quarter and what the profits are going to be from this quarter. So part of the profits that these companies are showing during this time when the economy has slowed down, a lot of the profits that they're showing are due to liquidating assets. So they're closing down a plant. Okay. Now, in traditional times, with a traditional market, that would be a bad sign. And people would say, oh, this company is in trouble going forward. But that doesn't exist anymore. All it is they closed the plant. They laid off this many workers. They're saving this much money. And so this will be passed along to the shareholders in the form of profits. Do you see what I'm saying? That's like the root of what's going on with this stuff. So let's say a company like Stellantis, instead of ensuring that there's a good supply of parts for their products that they built as recently as last year, okay, instead of ensuring that there's a good supply of their products and that the customers are satisfied because they can get their vehicles fixed and there's no hassles, they don't care about that. So they lay off the people who run the warranty part division. They outsource it to somebody else in East Bongo Squeegee. They call that a profit because they're cutting the cost of the business. They don't warehouse as much, so they fire warehouse staff. They close the warehouse. They sell the land that the warehouse is on. Right? That's all profits. So yes, we're doing great. Okay, but in the meantime, no, they're gutting the business. And that's what's going on right now. And in a lot of different areas, and it's gonna get worse. Okay. Muscle even foundries that cast parts are getting rare. Yep. Mexican Spec saying you would think the quality would go up since bad quality products would be broadcast all over the world. But they don't care. They don't care. You see what I'm saying? That's the point. And this has to do with like Holley, Edelbrock, Stellantis, any of these companies that are run by private equity. Look what Motor Trend did. Look what happened with Motor Trend and Discovery and all of that. Okay, perfect example. They took their entire video division, all right, everything, and just gone, right? So, see you guys, right? We got no use for you. Now you would think if you're looking at that company and saying, oh well, they're scaling back. This means trouble. Instead, it just means there's more money left over in this reporting period, and so it's more profit. All good. That's how these CEOs get as rich as they are. They're gutting the fucking companies. Excuse my French. They're gutting the companies and padding themselves with profits. Elmo is saying capitalism ain't all it's cracked up to be. Wrong. Capitalism is the natural way. Okay. Squirrels. You want an example of capitalism? Squirrels. They hoard their nuts. They go and they gather their nuts. They take their work that they spent gathering, right, and then they store it. Okay. That's what money is. That's what capitalism is. Right. It's the natural way. Predatory capitalism, unrestrained capitalism, is a completely different thing. Jacob Bowman is saying, I worked road construction and the company I worked for was bought out by a huge corporation, and that's what happened to us. They sold everything they didn't need at the second just for profit. Yep, exactly. Exactly. Um, well, capitalism is Jewish. Where'd you get that from? Capitalism there is no religion to capitalism. None. Um, let's see. Wargos is saying, keep elaborating, enlighten the normies. Dude, the normies have a long way to go. They have a long way to go. I tried 25 years ago. I tried my best at informing as many of the normies around me as I possibly could, and no, they just called me insane and they walked away. Now all of these things are happening. Normies won't wake up until like they get punched in the face with this stuff. Then half of them may wake up and get a grip on it. In the meantime, what we could do is just go for the ride. Um, Swamp Rat, where's let me see, how do I scroll on? I saw the name. So it's my brother. Oh, Happy New Year, man. Uh, let's see. Yeah, Rocco, the normies are about to get an education. It's not going to be a good one. Shannon, Happy New Year, Shannon. Um, Mike N, something's not right. There are no howling dogs drowning him out. Kathy Bananas has got them all in there, keeping them quiet. I have no idea how she's doing it, but she's doing it. Um, let's see. Martha, Eddie Lampert did the same to Kmart and Sears. I'm not familiar, but yeah, you go to any industry, you go to any, and you're going to see the same thing, all repeating itself over and over and over again. Ah. Rich, creamy coffee. That was very good. Um, War Ghost, they'll figure out what a Federal Reserve note truly means. Yeah. Let's see how that goes. Craig Simpson, thank you for the super chat. Hope to have you, TJ, on Radiant Creators again. Oh yes, Craig, definitely, yeah. Anytime, just set up with Kathy. You've got her number, right? Just throw her a text and set it up. Yeah, I'm down, man. Um, who did you have on, Craig? You had somebody on. I watched. There's a couple of weeks ago. I watched a video. And I don't. Oh God, it'll come to me. It'll come to me. But I really enjoyed it. I just can't remember who it was. Um, my AutoZone. Olive, what's happening, Olive? Happy New Year, Olive. Um, Chris Cabman says every time he changes his socks, his toenails are an inch longer. Wow. Um, let's see, Thunderbird. Tony, can a guy find all of the necessary sizes of water supply line to plumb a car? I'm having a hard time finding anything bigger than 5/16. Any well-stocked plumbing supply store should be able to get you in 5/16, 3/8, 7/16. Dr. Art is in the house temporarily. He'll be here in the flesh next Wednesday. Let's see. 2025. It's good to be alive. That very good, Dean. That you made a rhyme. Excellent, excellent. Eddie Garcia, what's happening, man? Happy New Year. A quick question. How big of a wheel and tire setup can I put under a 69 Roadrunner? Oh, I just had a set of tires on a 68. Give me a few minutes, and offset of the rim has a lot to do with it. But give me a few minutes, and I'll remember the offset of the rim and the tire size. But right now, I'm drawing a blank for some reason. Fubar just put up a link to my merch, our hats, our shirts that I'm not currently wearing, but if I was, it would have the UTG logo prominently displayed right here, and some witty saying on the back that you need to have. And you can find all of them in our store at the link that Fubar just put up there, along with our amazingly effective mugs that contain like any liquid you put in these things. It stays until you remove it. Excellent product. Excellent product. Dave Bowen, Happy New Year to you too, brother. PG-13 Build a House Show. I live 2 miles from where OCIR was. R.I.P. Orange County, man. That was like a super track before super tracks. Very cool tower. The OCIR had the coolest tower. Viral Flood to Serve Man, yes. To Serve Man is a cookbook. I know. 27 Motors. There was no insurrection. Trump said be peaceful and patriotic, which negates the former. I know. I was there. I know. I saw everything that happened. I know. But I can't say it. Rooster's Restorations. How you doing, Rooster? Thought you'd pop in and say hi. Good to see you, my brother. Happy New Year. Craig Simpson, can a Turbo Hydro 400 trans O-ring type dipstick convert top hat type drip stick? Think the trans case dipstick hole would have to be drilled larger? I don't know. If anybody can help him with that Turbo 400 dipstick question, Craig Simpson, I can't. Barrows, thank you for the super chat. Purity of purpose, number one. I appreciate that. I don't remember what specific video I used it in, but that's been a guiding philosophy of mine like forever. Purity of purpose. That's how you get the most satisfying results. Notice I said satisfying, because satisfying and successful are generally intertwined, but things don't necessarily have to be satisfying to be successful. You see what I'm saying? Like you could say that you ran a race, you lost the race. So you would say, well, that was an unsuccessful endeavor. But in fact, it was successful because you actually got to participate and you threw your all at it, which is, you see what I'm saying? So yes, purpose, purity of purpose. Let's see. Firefly, in the inevitability of a Rockwell turbo encabulator malfunction, Should consult a manual of proper resonance settings or a Ouija board. Ouija board was the original way to do all of that stuff. Jimmy Luce, thank you for the super chat. I cringe when I see channels hang a 600-pound big block from an engine lift plate screwed up to 4 aluminum drive. Bro, I'm guilty as charged. I'm guilty as charged. I do it. I've done it countless times. Here's the thing, right? So if you're gonna do that, right, you have to make sure you've got washers between the half inch, 5/16 bolt, so a half inch head. You need a nice broad washer, right? And you gotta actually like snug them down because a lot of guys will just put them in finger tight, and that's no good, right? You actually gotta snug them directly to the plate so there's no play at all. And then you'd be amazed how much you could lift. You could lift the car off the ground with that. With 4 5/16 bolts properly fastened to a plate like that, you could lift the car right off the ground, and they'll never. D Truth, Tony, turning pistons around, yes or no? It depends. It depends. Is it a flat top piston that's not oriented in any other way? Yes. Turn them around. Let's see. David Morgan. Good evening, David. Sometime in the next few years, I'm going out of my way to put a JZ. I don't know what that means. JZ. Hang on. Head on a Holden 202 6-cylinder. On a Holden 202 6-cylinder 6 throttle body. Are you doing anything more on mechanical injection? David, I tell you the truth. Mechanical injection. So if you're doing oh God, what was the name of the Bosch system? I can't think of the name of the Bosch system. Mechanical fuel injection. Mechanical fuel injection is tough. It's more finicky, more sensitive, more harder to tune than either a carburetor or an electronic fuel injection. Mechanical fuel injection is, in my mind, is best left for racing, where it's a superior thing. The advantage that mechanical fuel injection has over carburetor or fuel injection is that it literally is open to any fuel, right? So you can make very easy changes from, let's say, gasoline to alcohol to nitromethane and various percentages in between, very simply with mechanical fuel injection. But that's really the only advantage that it has over either carburetor or EFI. So I probably won't be doing too many mechanical fuel injection videos. Stan Control, thank you, sir, for the super chat. You got me hooked with your video on the Ford truck with the $4,000 repair job caused by a leaking taillight assembly. Been following you ever since. Thank you, Stan. I appreciate that. There's a lot to that, bro. There's a lot of that going on. I just saw another video of another vehicle with the same basic situation, a multi-$1,000 taillight assembly. Brandon Paul, what's your take on conventional oils and synthetic in your own personal cars? Okay, it depends on the car, right? Depends on the car. So my older stuff, 1960s, 1970s cars that I currently have, I don't use synthetics in them because they have a lot of cork gaskets. Well, actually, they're not intended to seal a synthetic oil. Okay, so what will happen is you take a let's say a 1970 engine, right, that has all of the correct style gaskets. So it's going to have a cork oil pan gasket. It's going to have cork valve cover gaskets. Some of them have rubber, but most of them have cork. End seals on the intake manifold, cork. Lots of cork. Okay, a lot of them have rope seals, for rear main seal. So on an engine like that, I never use synthetic because synthetic oil will seep past cork. Synthetic oil will force a leak where you wouldn't normally have one. Okay, but on the other hand, later model engines that I have with rubber gaskets, rubber oil pan gasket, rubber valve cover gasket, so on and so forth, yes, I will use synthetic in those. Motronic, yes, that's the one. Uh, let's see. Scoop, I have to go. VB, veteran bikers doing a live on the New Orleans deal. Terrible, right? I have to go here. Scoop, give VB my give VB my regards. Uh, yes, zero. Cork for regular oil, rubber for synthetic. Yep. Um, the main the OG mechanical fuel injection was Bendix. No, the Rochester. You're talking about the Rochester the fuel injection setup they started using in 1957 on Chevys and Pontiacs. That would be the OG mechanical fuel injection. As far as production cars go, mechanical fuel injection goes way back. Mechanical fuel injection goes back to like the 1900s, right? I don't know who made the first one, but the first regular available American mass produced one wasn't Bendix, it was Rochester. Um, and you you know why the Rochester? A lot of people don't know this. Okay, the flaw with the Rochester fuel injection, um, there was a diaphragm, okay, that used that sense it sensed pressure, right? And through that pressure, it would regulate mixture, and at higher RPM, the barometric pressure under the hood would drop to the point that it would start to fatten the thing up. So that's why they had an issue with that. It was like, and they just stopped with it. D Truth, Tony, degreed cam over straight up cam or vice versa? It depends. Um, I'll always check. Okay, so let's say I'm putting together a stock engine, regular engine. Okay, and I take the cam out of the box and I stick it in the engine. Okay, now I don't necessarily degree it, but I do check it to make sure that it's ground where it's supposed to be. And generally, dot to dot is going to be ground straight up. If you're dealing with an aftermarket cam, it may be ground advanced or retarded, but that specification is going to be on the cam card. So I'll always check that. Now, to go one step further, now if you're going to start tuning the car and you don't mind ripping the front of it apart every time you want to make a change, then yes, then you start the green cams. But 99% of the time, no, you just take it out of the box, throw it in there, but you always should check. And I gave a method of checking that. If you, I did two videos on this, but if you search my channel, you'll see I did at least one, possibly two videos on how to degree a camshaft with no special tools, and I show how to degree or check a camshaft using nothing but a feeler gauge and a straight edge. So, and that's something everybody should know how to do. That's something everybody should know how to do. Mike Booger, I recently saw mechanical injection on a two-cylinder hit and miss engine from the late 1800s. Right, exactly. It goes way back, way back. Um, let's see. Um, let's see. Craig Sixon, is Wolf's Head even still made? Saw it in the 70s and 80s. Oh, I haven't seen Wolf's Head since the 70s. And I remember the ads from the magazines for some reason. Wow, isn't that weird, right? That stuck the Wolf's Head advertisement stuck with me like for 50 something years. Um, let's see. Uh, Let's see. I'm sorry, guys. I'm reading through the comments over here, trying to catch up because there were side conversations, and I'm actually let me switch this. It's set on top chat. I need to set on all. Okay, that should go a little better. Um, PG-13, the Bill Howland show. I have an '05 Ranger 2.3. It cost me $1,000. What? Hang on. It cost you $1,000 to have fuel injectors replaced. It was shocked. Dude, that's like literally, that's such a simple job. Unbelievable. Zero, boss, congratulations on a new puppy. How cool. Oh, she's beautiful. She's a handful of Zero. She's not, she's absolutely insane. I hope she calms down. She'll calm down, but she's had me going, bro. I'm on 3 days and I'm on like 10 hours sleep total for those 3 days. So I'm sitting here, I'm in a fog right now. She has just kept me going. Um, let's see. Mike Boger is saying Wolf's Head still has a website. I haven't seen it. Okay. 20-cent motors. I want to make my Fifth Avenue electric. The Nissan Leaf weighs about the same. Unfortunately, I have two other cars for when it gets cold or hot or on rainy days. Yeah, but wait a second. The Nissan Leaf weighs about the same with or without the battery. Because the Nissan Leaf is probably half, I bet you half the weight of the Leaf is a battery. So take your Fifth Avenue and add like 1,000 pounds over what it's going to have with the engine and trans in it now. Um, I mean, there's lots of people who do make electronic conversion. I am not against it. It's not for me. I'm not against it. It's for some people they want to do this. But there's a lot more people. There are people who are much better educated than I am at making a conversion like that. But I really can't, you know. 72Z20 saying $1,000 for an injected job reserve buff. It's a 2.8. It's a 2.8. If I remember correctly, on that Ranger motor, you unbolt the plenum, you unbolt the fuel rail. That's it. That's actually all there is, right? You have to obviously have to disconnect everything from the plenum. You move that out of the way. The fuel rail is here. You only have 4 injectors. There's 2 bolts holding the rail down. You don't even have to separate the fuel line from the rail. So you don't even need that special tool to unclip it. You just, yeah, you got robbed, man. Because those injectors, you go on Rock Auto, right? Those injectors are probably like $35 a piece. Stan Kuchel, thank you for the super chat, Stan. I have a friend in Pennsylvania with a gas well on his property. He has trucks that use natural gas for fuel and swears by it. Any thoughts on natural gas since you were doing a propane bill? From what I understand, they have essentially the same properties. Natural gas and propane. I don't know enough about it. I'm going to learn. I'm going to learn for sure. Last 2 weeks, I've been very distracted by other things. So nothing bad. Just I've had other things going on, and it was kind of like towards the end of the year, and I was like, I'm just going to unplug and coast for a little while. So I really haven't done anything. But now we're back at it, and I'll get back on the propane thing this week, not tomorrow, but the following day. But yeah, natural gas is one of those things I definitely got to look at. Let's see. Oscar Gonzalez, I hate working on cars. Don't we all at times? Sometimes, sometimes it sucks, but 27 Motors is saying propane is heavier than atmosphere and goes to ground level, making it slightly more dangerous than the lighter than air natural gas. Interesting. But what's the BTU difference between the two? just feeding them into an engine. What's the functional difference between the two? Okay, Brian Power is saying natural gas is marginally less energy dense than propane. I think it burns a smidge cooler too. Okay. Wayne Buzzle, what year Jeep XJ do you prefer? 97 through 99. Okay, 97 through 99. They're all pretty much exactly interchangeable. 2000 and 2001, they went to a different intake system. They went to a different not intake ignition system, I should say. They went to a different ignition system. There's enough differences between the two, and their solenoids are prone to cracking. So I zero in on 97 through 99. I would say, and I have one of each. I'm sorry, I have two 98s and one 99 in that group. Mission Improbable is a 96, but that's a toy. So yeah, but that's from everything that I've learned so far over the last few years of screwing out with the XJs. That's the golden era right there. 97, 98, 99. Like, can't go wrong. It's the best of all of the systems. Um, uh, you're all back here. Dust up. I hate working on my daily. Working on my duster is like therapy. Yeah, well, then you need to make your daily more an enjoyable thing to work on, right? Like my dailies are XJs at this point, and I love the XJs, and I really like working on them. I just watched a video. Um, I don't know if you guys you want to watch a real artist at work. Um, Oscar, I'll wait. Okay, I'll get to Oscar's super chat in a second. Um, Dex XJs, Dex's XJs. Okay, if you want to watch a really good video, okay, you want to watch an artist at work, like a guy who truly knows the thing he's working on, right? He did a thing on swapping out pistons, doing an in car an in car engine rebuild, right? Where he knocked the head off, knocked the pan off, and swapped out pistons and rods. And he did this whole thing. Elapsed time working was like just over like 2 hours. Okay. And he filmed the whole thing. It's like a 3 hour video. You guys want to watch a true master at work? Okay. I'm telling you, go watch that video. Dex XJ. I could not do a video that well. I could work like he does on certain vehicles. I'm not proficient enough with the XJ to hit it the way he does. I can work on B bodies that way. I can work on funny cars that way. Okay, at least the funny cars I used to work on back then. But watch the way this guy works. Okay, just amazing, inspirational. You want to see what it is to be a real intuitive mechanic, right? Something that the kind of thing you only get through like countless hours of practice and an intimate knowledge of the stuff you're working with. Dex XJ's video on swapping pistons in the truck. Oscar Gonzalez, thank you for the super chat. Reason for my hate is we all have reasons for our hate. I removed two knock sensors buried under the upper and lower intake. So many hoses were hard cracked and electrical connections brittle and melted. Hyundai Sonata is the car. Fuck Chinese hose clamps. I know, man. I know, Oscar. It's one of the reasons I got away from regular repair, and I will probably never go back. Let's see. Rocco, I picked up a 98 Cherokee. We'll pick up a second one in the spring. I'm done with CAN bus. XJs are going to go through the roof Mark my words, right? If you want to get involved in a speculative asset, an automotive speculative asset, go buy all the XJs you can get your hands on and just sit tight. Just sit tight. Those things are because the normies, the general population is starting to wake up to the reality of the modern automobile and the stuff that goes with it. Okay. Those XJs are going to go berserk. Mark my words. Um, let's see. They'll be like uranium. XJs are through the roof where you are. Yes. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Zero just put up the link to DexJ. Thank you, Zero. Seriously, go watch. He only posted it a couple of days ago. Go watch that video. I just amazing. Just amazing. That is a true intuitive mechanic. Really, really good. Uh, Mike Boger, I like watching Dex's XJs. Does his brother? Yes, his brother does have a channel. And yes, I know he has a machine shop. And it was funny, right? Because I'm a huge fan of of Dex's brother's XJ, that red 4-cylinder 5-speed. It doesn't have a name. It's just it's the most hammered and destroyed vehicle that's like ever, right? It is amazing. It's amazing. You want to see what the XJ is really all about. I go find that red 4-popper that Dex's brother has. So what happened was this last summer, it was like I think it was like September, sometime in September. Okay, I'm on my way home, and I was just rolling around, and it was late. I was on one of my motorcycles, and I was just enjoying the evening. It was beautiful out, and I'm going down the main drag over here, Old Fort, and it was in traffic. And out of the corner of my eye, I see a trailer with two XJs on it. Okay, and I'm like, oh. So I swung a U-turn and I got back to the gas station. It was Dex. Actually, it was Dex's brother, and he had that red XJ that I'm talking about up on the trailer. They were on their way to an event with it. So I was like a kid, man. I was like, I was geeking out over this thing. I got to see one of like the vehicles I watch on YouTube. It was fantastic. Um, uh, Dangle Duck. Hey, Uncle Tony. Hope all is well. And all is exceptionally well, my brother. Uh, I'm about to rebuild the 1998 Mustang 3.8 liter V6. That's a great engine. Um, excuse me. Old school overhead valve. Any advice for a first timer? Love the content. Service manuals, right? Or online, right? Service manual, all the factory service procedures. Go slow. Go slow, right? It's not a rush. I hope this isn't your daily transportation. You're planning on ripping it apart, Friday after work and then driving it to work Monday morning, because a lot of guys make that mistake. Don't do that, okay? Um, take your time, especially if it's your first time, your first one. Oh God, it doesn't matter how long it takes you to get it done. Just make sure you do it right. Test fit all the parts and assemblies together. You know what I mean? Before final assembly. The service manual, the factory literature is of the utmost importance to know, because you look at things, a lot of things say, oh well, this goes into this, but no, there may be a step in between that you need to be aware of, and every engine is different. So that's why I can't tell you specifically what to look for there. There might be a specific order that they want you to do things in. So the factory literature for the motor you're going to work on is super, super important. And you can usually find copies of it online. Um, but yeah, other than that, take your time and pay attention and enjoy it, right? Just enjoy it. Some of it is very tedious. You know what I mean? Like cleaning stuff, very tedious. Doing the repetitive assemblies, like when you're throwing the rings on the pistons and throwing the pistons in the motor, it can get repetitive, right? But good luck with it. You'll enjoy it. And go back and look at some of the videos that we've done on that. Let's see. Oscar Gonzalez, good advice. And take pictures from your phone before tearing down. Yes. As you're taking the thing apart, take pictures of each assembly, right? And take pictures of specifically groups of bolts that go together, because as you're pulling it apart, those 3.8s have a lot of bolts that are very specific to the place they got to go back to. If you've taken pictures, you'll know how to put it back together again. Very important. And it's like one of the big advantages that we have today. Thunderbird 68 is saying take tons of pictures, can never have too many. And actually, videos are even better. Yes, save my bacon. A lot, especially when I tear something apart and I can't get to it for a while. Yes. Dean Stevenson is saying yes. The 98 is great. After 15 years, Ford fixed all the defects on the 3.8 S6 90-degree V6. And those engines, those are great engines. I did several of them. The only fault that I can really remember with those is the head gaskets. Those engines, okay, passenger side rearmost cylinder and driver's side front cylinder. The water jackets at the corners of the blocks, right? So the left, the passenger side rear, driver's side front, the water passages would leak into the combustion chambers. There was a deal with the gasket there. They used that black fibrous and stainless steel head gasket, right? You know what I'm talking about. And the problem there was electrolysis, because it was a cast iron block, aluminum head, and the stainless firing for in the gasket, and you get electrolysis happening, and the electrolysis would eat away at the material around the firing, and they would start to leak. So that was a common problem with those. It was people neglecting to change the antifreeze, because as antifreeze ages, it becomes acidic, and that acid in the antifreeze reacted with those three dissimilar metals and caused electrolysis. And that was very common. And I probably did, I had to do 30 or 40 head gasket jobs on those engines back in the day. I could literally do that thing in my sleep. Fun with cars. Lots of cheap 1930s cars for sale too. Boomers dying off. The kids don't want them. It's because they don't really have a use. See, so previous to, let's say, 1950, let's call it 55, right? But it's really a little bit later than that. It's really like 1962, 1963. But let's call it 1955. Cars built previous to that are very difficult to use in regular transportation. 1930s cars, are designed to go 50 miles an hour. Like that's it. That's, you know what I mean? Yes, I know there were ones that could go 100 back then. I know all about that, right? But that's not how cars were designed. That's not how they were used. So the suspension, the gearings, the gearing, the engines, the transmissions, all that stuff is out of place today. You can't use them without drastically modifying them. And that limits the appeal of of early cars, 1930s, 1940s, even 1950s cars. It's not until you get to like 1962, 1963 that you find cars that are at home today that will cruise at 70 miles an hour all day, that will handle the kind of bumps and the stop and go traffic and all the stuff that we got to deal with today. It's not until you get to the early 1960s that you find cars like that. So as the people with sentimental value for the older cars die off, yeah, they're not going to have much value other than like collector like oddities. But for practical use, no, I see 1960s and 1970s cars only going higher and higher and higher. It has nothing to do with nostalgic value. Um, let's see. Um, oh, sorry about that. Thunderbird 1968. Tony, I've heard it said once that it's best to put head bolts back in the same hole. Seems goofy to me, but is that valid? No, unless it's a very specific head bolt. Um, like I'm just for example, okay, small block mower has one long head bolt on each, but that's just specific. So other than an example like that, no, that doesn't make any difference. Doesn't make, check them for stretch, right? Um, the head bolts, check them for stretch, and if they're not stretched, just clean them up and stick them back in. But then don't worry about the holes that they go into. The Arrows is saying we have a 100% original 1928 Willys Whippet. That is cool. Um, uh, but it's the same one we never drive. It tops out at 45 miles an hour and is a handful of driving modern traffic. Plus, if someone hits it, it's done. Yeah, exactly. It's a cool novelty, but it's not the kind of thing people are going to trip over themselves trying to buy. Old McDonald has a car. As society collapses, old school mechanics will be in great demand. I've been preaching that since day one, right? Yeah, no, listen to me. I've been saying that for over 30 years, okay, like way back. But really, specifically, the last several years we're doing this channel, I have preached exactly that. I'm going to read that one more time. As society collapses, old school mechanics will be in great demand. You have no idea. You have no idea. Um, let's see. Let's see. We'll see. BS Customs. The amount of grown-ass adults I deal with whose concept of mechanical knowledge ends at righty tighty lefty loosey is amazing to me. Yeah, like, okay, seriously now, seriously, right? Be the guy, right? Be the guy. Be the appliance repair. See, right now, the appliance repair is nonsense. There's no business for appliance repair because appliances have become completely disposable. Be the guy in your town and in your social circle that can adapt an old school timer to a modern washing machine because the motor is there, the pump is there, all of the mechanisms that you need to operate it are there, but it's all digital. And when the digital part, when that goes out, it's done, right? Be the guy who can adapt a timer and switchboard to a modern appliance, right, and make it function. And not just that, coffee pots. Okay, you name it. Name the thing that has become disposable over the last like 15, 20 years. Name the thing. Be the guy who can analog those devices, and you are rich as we go forward. As we go forward. right? You will rule Bartertown, no question about it. Let's see. 20 cent motors. I fixed the bass in my 67 Motorola stereo today. Excellent. Um, Gmo parses coffee pot. I still do a pour over, no coffee pot needed. Yep, analog will always rule. It will. I'm telling you. Bobby Z, 1964. Start buying old U.S. made washers and dryers now. You can fix those things. You can't fix. Absolutely, absolutely. See, listen, listen. Things are happening economically now that are just off the chain, unprecedented levels never before seen in all of human history. Okay, happening right now. Uh, the unrealized losses that the banking institutions are having to deal with now in this quarter and coming up are unbelievable. Okay, um, economic collapse is an absolute positive certainty. It's mathematically unavoidable at this point. Start looking for the opportunities like that, right? Buying up old, like 1960s, 1970s, or 1980s appliances and stuff, right? And refurbishing them. Give it a nice paint job, right? Do everything you need to refurbish the thing and focus on all that repairable technology, right? And adopting, analog switches and buttons and stuff to things that are currently like push button digital, right? You will make a fortune. The opportunities are limitless, absolutely limitless if you have the technology. And as car guys, we all do. It's like a second nature to us. Go out and tinker and create and adapt things. We live for that, right? So start looking for those opportunities out in the world and you will do amazing. Josh Holman, capitalism is dying by its own corpulence. No, predatory capitalism is. Okay, predatory capitalism is absolutely dying of. But in the end, capitalism is nature's way. Okay, capitalism is nature's way. Capitalism will always be the superior form of society, economics to drive a society. It's the only one that drives incentive. Do you understand that? You need incentive, right? An economy needs an incentive to move forward. That incentive comes through capitalism, period, the end. Okay, it's unregulated predatory capitalism is the problem. And that is going to go away. Olive is saying the predatory part kind of ate everything is the problem here right now. Exactly, exactly. I've been saying it for 30 something years, but here we are. Rocco saying banks will be going under soon. FDIC only has enough funds to cover 1%. Try again. 1%? No, it's like 1/10 of 1%. Yeah, forget about that. And don't forget about the bail-ins now. Remember, now they confiscate your money. Once a bank is at that point, they are legally allowed to confiscate your money. It's called a bail-in. A lot of people don't realize this. And in the event of a bail-in, FDIC doesn't cover you. Because what happened was when you deposit your money in a bank, it's not your money anymore. It belongs to the bank. And you have now consented for the bank, for the institution, to use it for investment purposes. You're authorizing them to do it. You're giving them the money and say, here, invest. And in return for that, give me access to trading capital. Okay, that's really what it comes down to. Well, now when the banks can't meet their obligations, they can legally bail themselves in using your money because it's not your money anymore. It's okay. No, this is not financial advice. Uh, Credit unions, yeah, well, yeah, absolutely. Credit unions are still a problem, but not nearly as much of a problem as regular banks. I'm in credit unions, and silver, yes, silver, gold, and crypto, and so crypto. I've said it for I've said it for 1,000. You're right. You're right. Cooling Fin. It's called crypto for a reason, and you're right about that. Crypto is a fantastic, phenomenal, speculative investment for right now. Okay. Crypto will have at some point a giant, huge rug pull. Okay. You will lose it, right? Just like meme coins, right? Crypto is vaporware, period. The end. Bitcoin, the XRP, any of them, it's all a scam. But while the scam is running, you can make huge money with it. So it's like going to the casino, right? Take your money, that you don't care if you lose it or not, and run to Vegas with it and go have a blast. Well, that's how you got to look at crypto. And if you look at crypto that way, you can make a fortune with it. But you got to be ready to get out, and you have to understand that it is vaporware. At its core, it's a scam. So as long as you know that going in, you're good to go. Territory, hello world, happy New Year to you, Territory. 20-cent motors planned obsolescence spawns predatory capitalism. No, see, you get that backwards, bro. You get that backwards. If things were built to last or at least be repaired, we wouldn't see businesses being closed out. Yeah, but I'm telling you, you have that backwards. Planned obsolescence is a product of predatory capitalism, not the other way around. Travis Moore, Bitcoin has hit the end of its life. It is dead crypto, and the only money made on it are the ones that control the price anyway. It's not at the end of its life. I, as much as I wish it was, because I see it as a scam, and I own Bitcoin. So as much as I see it as a scam, I wish it would disappear. I wish it was at the end of its life. It's not. It's not. It's the whole crypto space. I'm telling you, is going to do mathematical things that are going to make your head spin. And this is a certainty. I can't give you the timing. Nobody can predict the time, but you can look at trends. Okay, you can look at trends. You can look at charts, right? Like Bitcoin is like the perfect example, right? If you go back to when was it introduced? 2010, 2011, something like that. If you look at the charts, okay, of Bitcoin, it's a long term, going all the way back there. It has huge swings, peaks and troughs. Well, the trajectory of you chart it out, the trajectory pointing towards $1 million, $1 million Bitcoin is like almost a certainty. As long as it follows similar patterns, right? As long as it stays in right. Oh, it's a long way from over. A long way from over. Motor Care. I went to Burger King a few days ago and handed them a $20 bill to pay for my food. The cashier gave it back to me because they didn't have enough change on the drawer. Give me the food for free. Isn't that insane? Isn't that completely insane? Speed Demon 30 years ago, $20 would buy the entire menu at Burger King. I'm trying to catch up here. These things went pretty fast. Guess what? My drones. Doomsday prepping. Territory. Tony, YouTube question. I was thinking of doing daily small videos to get monetized, or should I stick with one video per week? Oh no, we do daily. Do daily. The more frequently and predictably you upload, the more the algorithm respects you and will put the videos out. And keep them short. Until you get your 1,000 subs and are monetized, keep your videos all between 1 and 3 minutes. Right? After you're monetized and you've got a following, then you can start doing the longer ones. But to get there first, keep them short. Old McDonald had a car. I prefer Burger King for dinner since I eat McDonald's every night. Dude, stop. Oh, McDonald, get away from us. Dude, it's literally poison. You're killing yourself. Don't eat that shit. Burger King, stay away from Burger King for a while. I used to love Burger King. I thought Burger King was great. It had the best taste out of all of the, okay? Stop eating it for a week or two. Just stay away from it for a week or two. And then go back and try to eat some of it. And you won't be able to tolerate it. The taste is going to stay in your mouth. It's horrible. Okay, it's horrible. The only one, Taco Bell is probably the closest you can get to kind of wholesome food. Stick with their chicken, like the grilled chicken and stuff like that, and your basic, like a basic taco, grilled chicken taco, that sort of thing. That's as close to okay fast food as you're going to get. The rest of it, man, McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, it's crap. It's pure poison. JG Mopar, no fast food for me. None of it is good. I agree with you, but sometimes it's a necessity. Sometimes you have no choice, right? Because you're running, you're trying to get shit done. There's no time for food. Yeah, sometimes you just have to bite the bullet and grab some fast food. I know it's poison. I'll eat it when it's necessary, because if I'm gonna keep going, I gotta fuel the war machine. So sometimes the fuel ain't that hot, but at least the war machine will keep fighting. So yes, at that point you do fast food when you have to, but it's terrible. Jeff is asking, when will I do a review on the Edelbrock AVS2? Probably never, because I've done so many Carter Edelbrock videos, right? And pretty much all of the things that you talk about, the AFB style carburetor applies to the AVS. So it would be hard for me to review something like that when I've already done so many. I've done dozens and dozens of Edelbrock or Carter-based videos, right? That will apply to all of that. I can't do a review on it like it's not something I don't already know intimately. I like to review stuff that I buy at Harbor Freight or whatever, spur of the moment. I'll go into Harbor Freight to buy some welding wire or whatever. And as I'm passing, something will catch my eye. I'm like, oh, let me try that. I can make a video out of that. So I'll grab it off the shelf and give it a shot. I like doing those videos because it's fun. It's not anything serious. I don't go crazy with it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I probably won't do any AVS. Let's see. Jacob Bowman, good night and happy New Year to you too, brother. Crazy 77, you like those videos? Yeah, so do I. And I'm probably going to try to. They get good views. And I'm probably going to try to do some more of that style video. Um, I'll tell you one I'm almost definitely going to do, and I may do it this week. I'm a flux core freak. I love flux core, right? Um, I know I've welded with everything, but flux core is my you know it's my thing. Okay, so they have the Harbor Freight has the titanium brand flux core welder on sale for like $99. I may go buy one of those and do a side by side comparison between the Chicago electric one and the. I may do that this week. Dust Devil. I should do a video walking around Harbor Freight showing people the good stuff. I don't really know the good stuff until I buy the good stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it would be hard to do that. Um, Bob's Chop Shop. On your old videos, does the money you make on it stay the same or more, or the more it gets views, the more money it makes over the years? No, it kind of locks into a rate, um, and it stays there. I have noticed there are fluctuations. Um, I can tell you on one video, I got bent over, I got robbed. Okay, and I can tell you that on another video, I've made way more than I should have. So it kind of balanced out. Okay, it kind of balanced out. But no, it whatever the pay rate, the CPM is. Let's say after the video's been up for about 2 days, 3 days, is what it just stays at. Dust Devil, you just did a video on your new shop heater. It's going crazy. Well, crazy for a sub 1,000. Well, that's okay. Listen, that's how you get to more than right to 1,000 subs. Um, but you see, that's the thing about it's okay. So it's timely, especially right now. Okay, because now think about this, right? You got a well publicized cold wave. Now, I'm just talking about this for the last couple of days. You got this polar vortex thing that's supposed to drop down over the next like 2 weeks or so. Do you know how many people are going to be searching heater? Right now is the time to do that. Right, do another version of it. Right, keep doing heater stuff because people are going to be searching that. Your video is going to come up. Good evening, Mark Sauvé. Um, let's see. Fun with Cars says he stopped buying things at Harbor Freight. You want to tell me what choices there are? Honestly, right? We got Harbor Freight, we got Northern Tool. Northern Tool never has what I'm looking for, right? And it's always way more expensive than Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight has a good assortment of stuff. I where it's made, I have no choice, right? There are no equivalent American made parts, or there's nothing that even resembles Harbor Freight that has American made stuff, right? So for right now, for our purposes, you can't beat it. You just go to Harbor Freight, buy all the Harbor Freight stuff, build a business that will make tools and equipment that Harbor Freight has here in this country and put them out of business with it. That's make that your goal. Use Harbor Freight to put Harbor Freight out of business. Uh, let's see. Okay, this went pretty fast, and I'm trying to catch up here. Uh, 72C20. I got a nice creeper at Harbor Freight, half the price for the same creeper at O'Reilly's. Oh, O'Reilly's and oh please, thieves. All right, wait, no, I don't want to say they're thieves. I'm not going to say they're thieves, not because I'm trying to protect them, okay? But their prices are insane, and it reflects the costs that they incur, okay? So the cost of employees, the cost of insurance, the cost of, I mean, keeping their delivery vehicles going, the cost of, there's a ton of costs involved in any brick and mortar endeavor like that. Those costs get passed down to you, and that's why 85 cents worth of light bulb is now $8.50, right? Um, and it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. Stick and mortar auto parts stores are going to go away. $72Z28. Their thieves' prices are double more than Rock Auto. I know that, but Rock Auto doesn't have to support. Rock Auto is only paying its warehouse workers and the taxes and the utility bills on its main warehouses, right? As opposed to something like O'Reilly's that has whatever 1,000 locations, and each of those places has got to have its own insurance. It has to have delivery vehicles. They have to be paid for. The insurance on those things have to be paid for. All the workman's comp, all not to mention the rent and everything. It's yes, their prices are going to be twice, if not more than twice, that you're going to find on Rock Auto, but that's because there are expenses that have to be covered. Cheap Seats, Napa has about every tool. Napa is really expensive, man. Napa is right up there with O'Reilly's as far as expense goes. Old cars and music. I've always been well served with Harbor Freight tools. In the near future, I'm going to see how good Vavor tools are. So Vavor. We have a Vavor heat press over here. Excuse me. Vavor has come out of the woodwork. I've never heard of this company before, right? And in, over the last like 2 years, their name is everywhere. It's huge. Vavor doing everything all over the place, and I don't know anything about the company. I don't really know what quality their stuff is. But like I said, we have a Vavor heat press here, and when I was looking up the information on that, was the first time I had heard of Vavor, and now I see Vavor everywhere. So I don't know what the story is with it. Um, Dust Over Garage, you have to choose between buying. Very good, there's a video for you, man. Honestly, that's a good video. That's a good topic. I would do that myself. I would take that video, but I respect you and I will not steal your idea. That is a fantastic idea for a video. I'm going to read your statement here. Dust Over Garage is saying you have to choose between buying Harbor Freight tools or not being able to afford your hot rod. Most of us aren't doing this for a living. I'm not buying Snap-on for a hobby. Thank you. Thank you. That is a fantastic video. Go make that video. Let's see. Joe K. The only good thing about local parts store is that you can get the part now. No lie. Okay, no lie. I needed something real quick, and I have an Advance Auto Parts about a mile from the house here. Okay, and I needed something real quick, and I thought of it as I was passing that parts store. I don't remember what it was. It was a gasket for something. I don't recall, right? But it was like a common inconsequential type of part. And as I'm passing this Advance, I said, "Oh, I'll just swing in here and get it." All right. So I walk up to the counter, okay, and I used to do Advance a lot. I had a commercial account, and that was years ago, and it was a whole different setup. So I haven't been in Advance in a long time. So I walk into this Advance, and there's a girl. She's like maybe like 18, 19 years old, right? 20 years old. She's young, okay? Little short thing, okay? And I walk up to her and I says, "Hi, I need a blah 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 gasket for a blah 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 1965 blah blah blah. Right? She goes, she's speaking some kind of foreign language, right? And I was like, yes, okay, I need a blah 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 gasket for a 1965 blah 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 automatic transmission, right? Whatever it was that I had to, information. I figured this is pertinent. She needs to know. And she goes, oh yeah, and she turned the computer towards me. I'm like, what? So then a guy comes over, another young guy, like maybe 25, 30 years old, really clean cut, very nice looking guy. And he's speaking broken English. And now he's the translator for me and this little parts girls working the computer. I was like, guys, listen, oh wait, I remember I got one on the shelf. I'll see you later. And I left. This is what you deal with when you walk into one of these friggin' parts stores these days. Uh, Thunderbird 1968 is saying Napa used to be good. I used to ride my bike there to get parts when I was a kid. Yes, I know Napa was great. I used to swear by Napa. No more. Yeah, Zero saying, yeah, you lost rent. I need. I know, right? Power toys. Do you like living in Tennessee? As a Pennsylvanian, I've had enough of the communism. I love Tennessee. I've been here for 21. This will be my 22nd year here. I love this place. I absolutely adore it. Um, yeah, come on down. There's a very well known YouTuber. His name is Sean Kerr. He does a channel called Bikes and Beards. And last year he moved from Pennsylvania to Tennessee. He's over in Spring Hill, which is about 25 miles from here. Um, yeah, come on down, man. Get out of PA. Professor Gins, how you doing, brother, man? CarQuest was my best local parts store. They even color matched paint. They closed this month. Yeah, I know. Fubar, who lived 20 minutes from you? Yeah, 20% motors. Just leave your communism. Make sure you shower real good. Wash off all the communism. Um, let's see. Professor Gins, Tony, did you see the email I sent you? I know, I don't even have I swear to God, I don't even have the password to the email account. Um, Kathy Bananas handles all correspondences. I have no idea. I'll ask her if. Hey, Kat, did we get an email from Professor Gins? She says she has to look. She doesn't know. Um, chicken tax. Let's see. Yeah, the what? Um, Anthony Barber, used parts are affordable at pick and pulls if you're fortunate to have one. Oof, we have one. We have a few of them in the area here. The one closest to me is Express Pull and Save. They're in Laverne, Tennessee, about 15 miles up the road, and actually only about 5 miles from my shop. And that place has become mobbed, mobbed. Um, on any given morning, there's like 100 people picking through the place. It's gotten so crazy. You really can't even walk anymore through there because they're pulling stuff apart. They're pulling engines out, transmissions out, stripping cars there, and they just leave everything in the path, right? So it's become almost impossible. And anything that's decent that gets in there, like the day that it's there, like I'm always looking for like XJ stuff, looking for spare computers and whatnot. That if it gets in there, like if there's anything that has any sort of like core value or anything like that, um, gone, like within minutes of the car hitting. Uh, Scoop, doesn't American Pickers have a store in Tennessee? Yeah, well, the guy Mike Wolf, he 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 has the place in Nashville, like the American Picker store, and then he bought a bunch of buildings on the square in Columbia, and he has the Columbia Motor something, I forgot what they call it now. But he's got a couple of buildings down there, and I guess he's going to start working on that. Um, but yeah, he's down here. We're loaded with people like that in this area. We got well, just in cars, just the car thing. We have Whistle and Diesel, we have Vice Grip Garage, um, uh, the Power Nation. You know the whole Power Nation thing. They're right over here. Um, Sean who bites and beards, he's here. We're loaded with YouTubers in like a 20-mile radius of where I'm sitting right now. Uh, Stay in control. I saw a video about how the junkyard parts prices have skyrocketed. Um, well, if you think about it, right, the price of used parts has always been. Oh, Dylan McCool. Yeah, I forgot about Dylan McCool. Yeah, he's right down here too. Hickok 45. I was talking about just car guys. Um, oh, and Sleeper Dude. He's a little bit further away, but he's still in this area here too. There are a lot of YouTubers in this area. Um, uh, War Ghost. Tony, me and my woman are going to spend a week in Tennessee to see our friend who passed away here soon. You're gonna go see your friend who passed away? I don't know if I read that right. Anything special or good to eat in the area? Nashville is a foodie's paradise. Anything you want. Obviously American food at the wazoo. You want Armenian food. You want Yugoslavian food. You want Chinese, Thai, Vietnamese. You name it. And we have a huge Mexico. There's a whole region just south of Nashville that's got every type of Mexican food you can imagine, and all of it is good. Yeah, Stacy David is in Tennessee. Yes, that's what I'm saying. It's like we're loaded with these guys here. Um, so yeah, it's hard to go wrong in Nashville in the Nashville area if you're looking for good food. Uh, let's see. JG Mopar, my buddy in Manchester, Tennessee, says the humidity and heat is unbearable in the summer. Try Florida. Try South Alabama. Try Louisiana. Please, are you kidding me? No, it's not bad at all. Uh, Old McDonald, what is the ratio of men to women in Tennessee? I'd say it's probably split down the middle. I mean, I don't know. Professor Gins, Elvis lived in Memphis. I would want to live there if I went to Tennessee. You would not want to live in Memphis. Memphis is So okay, so Tennessee is broken up into like there's West Tennessee, Memphis, right? Then you've got Middle Tennessee, Nashville, Chattanooga, North and South. Then you got East Tennessee, Knoxville, and Sevierville, that whole area. The crime stats, all of the bad stats that are attributed to the state of Tennessee, 100% of them come from Memphis. So Memphis is not the place you want to be. Memphis is dangerous. And as somebody who grew up, I grew up in New York City in the 1970s. Okay, you know that was, you know what I mean. This is where I come from. All right, and for me to tell you that Memphis is dangerous, take it to the bank. Don't question it. Take it to the bank. Dean Stevenson, Sudanese food? It's possible, bro. I don't know. Look it up. I wouldn't doubt it. Uh, Genji's saying the only time we were there was in 1984. I mean, the track was nice, and the area around the track was nice. We ran there a couple of times, but it's not the same, man. It's not the same, especially area like around Graceland. You just don't know. Just it's hard to know. Green Bean, thank you for the super chat. What's the best deal for a car or car parts you have ever made? Any memorable deals? I got a running 460 Ford for a set of wheels, ran for 5 years. Dude, it would be impossible for me to sit here and recall all of them because I've hustled and wheeled in deals my entire life, right? So deals were, I mean, just to throw a couple of them out there, right? Uh, 71 446 pack 4-speed Shaker Cuda, right? Paid $1,000 for it. 71 Hemi Super B minus engine. I paid 600 for that. Running, driving, drove it home. 1966 Hemi Satellite 4-speed, $600. Right? Like, I mean, for me, I cannot begin to tell you how many deals like that I've gotten over the course of my life. Um, ET Enterprise. I've been in the Nashville area for 14 years. Goodlettsville, out in the country. Oh, you're right by Music City. Oh yeah, you go 5 minutes from Music City. Right. 1 hour from Bowling Green. Yeah, I'm 100 miles from Bowling Green. I love it where I'm at. Yes, it's a beautiful area where you are. Uh, Mad Joe, what's your choice for nitrous? I know you'll probably find something used, but if you were to buy new, what kits have you had the best luck with? Well, I had so NOS is who the hell owns NOS now? Is it Holly owns NOS or I don't know which one of the companies owns NOS? I don't know. But way back when I was friends with Mike Thermos. Well, not friends, like we didn't hang out with each other, but we talk on the phone occasionally. Because Mike used to race fuel cars. Um, back in the 70s. Mike Thermos used to race nitro cars. So we knew each other on that level and we'd go back and forth. But then he sold it. For small street systems, I think NRS would still be my go-to. For another other reason than tradition, I have a nitrous express set up on Bottle Rocket. So for more serious, higher flow applications, I've got their stuff. But I mean, it's hard to go wrong, man. The nitrous guys are they got it together. It's an industry that's mature and it's a lot of street level guys. Street level, the street level guys are their customers, and street level guys don't put up on any nonsense. You see what I'm saying? So if you're going to survive in a nitrous business, um, you've got the toughest audience in the world out there. You got street racers out there using your stuff. It's got to be good, or it won't. You know what I mean? So uh, let's see. I hear the puppy going nuts out there. BS Customs, we got lost trying to find 94 coming back from Detroit Auto Show and ended up in a project or pile of dirt. Oh, geez. Yes, yes, yes. I know. I know. Been there, done it. Got that T-shirt. Uh, okay, it's an interesting question. Steri, vacuum modulator turbo 400, turbo hydro 400. Just started slamming into gear after I set up my vacuum advance. Ported. Any idea why the modulator would fail right afterwards? Well, the modulator has nothing to do with how it goes into gear. The modulator is how long it delays the shift to second gear, right? Your upshifts, and it's doing that through vacuum. But it has nothing at all to do with how hard it goes or soft it goes into gear. If it's slamming into gear, it's because you've increased the amount of initial advance at idle greatly by putting it to manifold vacuum. If you switch it to ported vacuum, you'll see that it goes away. Now, if it's a General Motors car, it's supposed to be ported vacuum, or I'm sorry, manifold vacuum. Well, of course it is, right? Because turbo 400. So switch it over to ported and see what happens. George Niemak, any tips for making a 10-to-1 compression big block happy on 90 octane pump gas? So far, no vacuum advance and 30 degrees total timing, and it seems okay most of the time, and it will be. That sounds about right. Yes. Your 90 octane gas these days is which is mid-range gas, at least around here, is the equivalent of like 96, 97 rated the old way. So no, you're fine, man. You're fine. um, let's see. Stereo vacuum advance was not connected before. Thanks for the response. Well, okay, so you just answered your own question. So just switch it from manifold to ported, and you'll get your vacuum advance, okay, your part throttle cruising, and you won't get all of that initial advance. Let's see. George Namack, thanks for the answer. No, my pleasure, my friend. BS Customs, Tony, what kind of area? I'm sorry, I gotta scroll back now. What kind of area in Tennessee would an engineering technician find work, instrumentation, prototyping, and fabricating and stuff like that? It's a little thin around here lately before Blue Oval. Here in Middle Tennessee is probably your best bet. So I would say southern Middle Tennessee, Columbia, down to like let's say Chattanooga, that kind of area, up to Nashville. Nashville has a lot of small manufacturing and stuff like that. Hard to say exactly. Hard to say exactly. Knoxville has, or the eastern cities have a lot going there too. Okay, you just got to do your homework on that. But manufacturing is growing here. Let's see. War Ghost. Hey, Tony, how many miles did the average big block Mopar last, assuming average maintenance? When you say last, I mean before they start getting sloppy? And remember, those cars use the old rings and stuff like that. And they were all carbureted, not usually maintained to the best. I mean, 150 to 200,000 miles is probably the life expectancy before a rebuild. Uh, let's see. Tim Miller, puppy is cute. She's beautiful. She's beautiful. Thank you. Uh, Scoop. Then you don't know the latest. I don't know what you guys are talking about. So yeah, so Molly. Um, let's see, Tim Page, Uncle Tony, any worthwhile gains in upgrading to a 4-barrel intake and carb on a stock 318 with factory 2-barrel BBD? Minor. You got to use okay, so if it's a stock engine and you're just looking for minor performance improvement, find an Edelbrock SP2P intake manifold, one of the worst intake manifolds ever designed. It's specifically a super long, super small runner, and it's done like that. It was a fuel economy intake manifold, and run that with a small, let's say a 5 or 600 CFM Edelbrock, and you'll see a significant enough performance improvement to make it worth your while. But that's about it. That's as far as you're going with the stock heads, unported, low compression, that stock cam. That's as much as it's going to use. Let's see. The puppy is Peppy. Yeah, well, I don't know if you guys can hear her right now. She's going nuts. So she's just a little over 6 weeks old. Okay, so we have her set up. I got my other four. Okay, Winnie, the other border collie, then Maggie and Darla are both beagles, and there's Lily who's mutt, right? Um, so they got to run in the house. They're all over the place, and we have Molly, the puppy, set up in a pen. Okay.
Keep this nut inside with you.
Okay, wait, give me, sweetheart. Hello, sweetheart. Come over here. Come over here. Come here. Good girl. So we have this one set up in a pen. Now she's just over 6 weeks old. Okay. She she climbs up the pen and jumps out. So there's no securing this door. Now we had Winnie, the other border collie. She was in that pen, that same exact pen, like for months, and she never even thought about trying to get out. This one over here has been around. She's been here for 4 days now. Okay, and the pen means nothing to her. She wants out. She climbs out, and then she tries to start fights with the other dogs. She's growling and barking at them and stuff like that. She's this one's a ball of fire. She's a lot. She's a handful. Oh, geez. Okay. Okay. Wait. No, we got. If I look tired in the video we shot today, I'm telling you, I haven't slept since she's got here. I got maybe 10 hours of sleep total, and I can only sleep when because she goes nuts when just when we left alone. I got maybe 10 hours of sleep total since we brought her home. Professor Gins, when I had a puppy that wouldn't stop barking when in the pen, I started telling her to speak. That's a good idea. Each time she barked, she learned the command in one day. That's awesome, except that it's not barking. She climbs out like it's nothing. Like it's nothing. She says, okay, I'm done. You know, I do put her in there to eat or maybe try to rest or something. And she says, no, I'm done. And she walks over, she climbs up and comes right down like nothing. She flops over, she falls flat on her head. It doesn't mean anything to her. She goes like this, she shakes it off and starts barking and chasing the other dogs. She's just over 6 weeks. Let her sleep in your bed. She doesn't sleep. You hear her? Again, I know she's gonna be awesome. I know. She's a handful. She's a real handful. But she's beautiful. She's so beautiful. And her sister, her and her sister have the same father. So I already know what she's gonna look like. All right, I'm gonna put her down. Okay. I'm tired, guys. I'm serious. I'm really, really freaking tired. Mark survey, 6 weeks is a bit early to wean from the mother. Usually says, I know. We had to get her at that time. She had to go. So we took her. Border collie mixed with spider monkey. Yes, I know. Let's see. Happy New Year, Hardy boy. Bubba, she just needs to get past the puppy's age. I know. I've been down this road before. I know. Puppy's eating the plant. Yes. Let's see. Check your 6. What are you doing? Molly? Molly! What are you doing? Come over here. Come here. Good girl! Did you see that? She came right over to me. She's 6 weeks old. When you get a puppy every morning is Christmas. I agree. I want to live in a dog world. I mean, I've gotten to that point, right? I'm coming to the end. I'm reaching the end real soon here. You know what I mean? And I want to spend my last days just in dog world. I want to open a rescue. I want to open a dog rescue, and just that's it. It's like at some point I'm going to just cash out all of this car stuff. Everything goes, and I'm going to set up a dog rescue. If one day you turn on YouTube and I'm not here, that's where I'm at. Let's see. Michael, Robert, Embry, when are you going to finish the Hemi block repair? I'm going to get back to welding on it soon. Thunderbird 68, you're planning to die? Dude, I'm 62 years old. I've been smoking for over 50 years. You have no idea what I put my body through. The fact that I'm alive, the fact that I can even move my fingers is a small miracle. So, I mean, I'm very realistic. I've got maybe 10 years left, something like that. I'm not planning on it, but it's going to happen. It's inevitable. Night Flyer, you love the channel. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Sammy Scooter, we know your love of Mopars, but what's your next go-to if you had to choose manufacturer and model? Well, I mean, I've become an XJ freak. I love XJs. I have four, five. Oh, I'm going to build a Woods toy too. So I've currently got five. Um, I can't really overdo it on the channel uh, because it doesn't really get views. Um, but yeah, if I have to do over again, I think I would just I would have every variation of XJ and do all of the activities that you can do with XJs. Uh, you thought I was a rough 45? Oh no, man. Scoop, I heard that the two-wheel drive XJs drive better and get far better mile per gallon. No, there's no comparison. It's night and day. It's absolutely night and day. Um, yes, two-wheel drive is much easier. There's like a 5-6 mile per gallon difference. Handling is it's so much. The two-wheel drive is so tight, so responsive. It's like literally like a sports car, where the four-wheel drive drives like a Jeep. Uh, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. She's looking like she's gonna. Molly, come on. Come on. Good girl. She comes when you call her and bites. Out. Hey, hey, out. Come on here. Come on here. She was eating the rug. Yes. Um, David Morgan, can you please make the picture straight to align with the door? I think it's the camera. But listen, I'm gonna wrap it up now because I'm going for like 2 hours now, and guys, I'm smoked. Okay, I'm tired. I'm just tired. Um, so I'm ow. So her little claws are like razors too. Um, so with that, listen, our awesome mods, Fubar Zero Mexican Spec, guys. Thank you so much. Um, Everybody contributed super chat. Thank you all. It's never expected, but always appreciated. And everybody contributed with your presence and your conversation. Thank you equally. We could not do this stuff without you guys, and I am eternally in your gratitude. Um, so yes, I'm gonna take this one inside and roughhouse her until she falls asleep. And I can't even think what I was gonna say. I thank the mods. I thank the super chat guys. I thank you guys. Uh, I don't remember. I don't remember. All right. It doesn't make any difference. Dr. Art will be back here next Wednesday night for our usual thing. And Happy New Year. Yes. And Happy New Year. That's what I forgot to say. I wanted to wish each of you and your families and your friends and your loved ones and everybody you encounter everywhere all the time a Happy New Year. I hope this is spectacular for all of us. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be really interesting. But I hope it turns out awesome for everybody. All right, guys. Oh God, she's killing me. She's killing me. This is her ass. Oh, she doesn't care. She just fell off my shoulder. She's like, and she's just running around like it's nothing. Good night, everybody. Oh, now I forgot how to shut this off. There it is.